fascinating, but the writing style leaves something to be desired. I don't think this editor should be reviewing professional publications. Ah, well, great topic, though. So, not great. But over the last 8 months, I had to admit, my feigned interest in the family career sure had made her a lot less frowny when she looked at me. Plus, the question had achieved the desired goal of distracting her from imminent puking. Finding things to criticize about others often had that effect on her. And for once, the disapproval wasn't directed at me. Jacob mentioned he read an article about that, I added. The glow in her eyes intensified. The only thing she loved more than my made-up, newfound love for optometry was my made-up, future healthcare professional boyfriend. It was good to know my imagination was able to please her, even if I rarely was. We jostled against each other as the plane dipped lower. "Close the shade, please. Or put on your sunglasses. The UV rays are terrible for your eyes." I sighed and shut out the beautiful view. Maybe it was for the best, to keep me from dwelling on out-of-reach dreams. "I hope your sister and Neil had a smoother ride." Yes, Alana, my 22-year-old sister, was dating a guy named Neil. It was like she'd set out to find the most boring guy possible and had ended up with the only college-age guy with that name, just to prove she continued to be the perfect daughter. The one destined to achieve the ideal balance of collegiate career success and a stable, predictable relationship that my family valued. "I'm sure they're fine," I said. "If their plane had crashed an hour ago, the runway wouldn't be clear for ours to land." "Mackenzie, don't joke about that." Ah, the "we are not amused" voice. Hadn't heard that one recently, mainly because I'd been keeping my jokes to myself. I definitely hadn't missed the way it made me feel silly and childish, even though I thought I was funny. Old Kenzie was sneaking through again, as if the wave-swept shores below were pulling her out of the depths. "I'm sure they're fine," I said quickly. The odds of a commercial airline crash are like 1 in 1.2 million. I'd memorized that fact prior to boarding to impress someone, and to calm my always worried mother. It was extremely gratifying to be able to use it to get myself out of trouble. "They're probably already at the resort with Gran." Mom's grip on the book loosened, until the plane shook and she hugged it to her again. She inhaled slowly before glancing sideways at me. "It was too bad Jacob couldn't join us." "Yeah, well, it was hard for imaginary people to go on real vacations." My non-existent boyfriend, Jacob, was attending a non-existent week-long biology academy over spring break, fulfilling the lie that I, too, had found a nice, dull, future optometrist to date. We supposedly video chatted about chemistry and college coursework and medical breakthroughs, which would have made me run away screaming if it had been true, since those were also frequent topics at family dinners. But it made my parents say things like, "I'm proud of you," and "We're so glad you found someone serious like your sister has," which were a huge improvement over what I used to hear. "When are you going to grow out of this phase?" Or, "Why don't you respect the family legacy like your sister?" And my personal favorite, "Nature photography is a cute hobby, but it's far too risky and pointless for a real career." He was sorry he couldn't come and wanted to make sure I thanked you for inviting him, I said, but the program was important to help him get an internship this summer. Of course, career comes first. I sincerely hoped that was a my family thing, and not an all-adults thing. Because the idea of career coming first for the rest of my life was almost enough to make me want to stay in high school forever. My parents found work so important that I still couldn't believe we were here. But the family optometry practice